yo, welcome back to another YouTube video on the Jason Judy channel. Hopefully y'all having a great motherfucking day. I'm going to show you guys how to make a small forward build that I'm rebirthing and I'm going to slowly start working on. I think it's a very good build. It can run the ISO a little bit. It's a really great just all-around build. It is a two-way, three-level scoring threat. I went small forward, 6'10", 219 pounds, so I can get the 74 agility. I just feel like at small forward you need to be a little bit quicker. But since you're 6'10", you have height to be able to help in the post, and you can still play good perimeter defense. It's just all around good build. I went 7'1" wingspan because I wanted a 90 mid-range. If I went up anymore, I wouldn't be able to get the 90 mid-range. I wanted the 90 mid-range. You'll see here in a little bit. So right here, I just went the traditional 89 driving dunk. I get pro contacts on 2 feet and 1 foot. I get the pro and I think small contacts, I believe, as well. I have to double check. The reason I wanted a 90 mid-range is for set shot specialists on gold. Because, yes, I could take off a few attributes in defense and get myself up to a max out 82 3-ball. But with the 79 and 90 overall mid-range, you're going to have a great jump shot. You'll be able to time very well. And with that, you can also have set shot specialist on gold, so you could just sit in corner and just catch and shoot. I do make most of my builds for 3s and 5s. This build can happily run the 1s. It's going to be a little bit difficult for you to kind of dribble a little bit, but with your size and strength, you can really just back down defenders all the way down to the post. You do get bronze lightning launch on this build, which I think is a very, very good thing to get because you are oversized big man a little bit, 6'10". You get paint patroller, so you get very high contest on the rim because you have that 91. You do get high flying denier, which does allow you to get chase down blocks very, very well. You get silver interceptor, which is just great for lane steals because this build, like I said, it can run from basically anywhere from the 2 to the 5. It can run the 1 spot, but it's going to be very hard. So it's up to you, your discretion at that. Your perimeter defense, you're just a good lockdown perimeter. This build, I'm going to be running inside the Proving Grounds and probably Pro-Am and Rec. I'm going to be using it as more of a, best way I could put it as, we run a lot of 3-2 or 2-3 zone. So this one can play in the down slot because of that block and the size you have and the strength. You have an 87 strength. But it can also play up because you have a 79 speed, 74 agility, and you have great lane steal animations you can get and great perimeter defense. You can help out on the boards because, you know, you are 6'10". I expect you to be able to help out. You get a 61 offensive rebounding, but if you have cap breakers, you can adjust anything. Like, this goes up to a 94 max. If you wanted to, you could get a 94 driving dunk with 5 cap breakers. I do not have cap breakers yet. I'm only a starter 1. So I do not have that yet. You can bring this up. The cap breakers I'm probably going to use, most likely I'm probably going to put 3 on here to get myself up to my 82 3-pointer. Yes, I was trying to go 83, but if I would have made the wingspan any lower, I wouldn't have been able to get 77 steal for me to be able to unlock glove and interceptor, but that's just the pick I had to make. And then the last 2 I'm probably going to go with is right here and get this all the way up to a 91, because with the 91 you're only 2 away from getting posterizer, and if you guys max out the season, you guys will be able to get another cap breaker. You can put that up to a 92, and then once you hit, I think it's starter 5, you get another 5 cap breakers. You can use those 5 cap breakers, put this up to a 93, so you get pro and elite contacts off of 2 feet and just regular contacts off of 1. You do get contact driving dunks as well. My apologies. And then with the other 4 you have, you can put up, if you feel like you want to get post moves lockdown, you can put up 2 on there just to get post move lockdown on there. And then you can bump up your block to be able to get 93 block, which will give you Hall of Fame high flying denier, which you could probably put that up on 1, and then you'll still have 2 left of that, and you could really just throw it up on anything you really want. I would probably personally say wait on getting high flying denier on Hall of Fame because gold's just as good because I run gold on a lot of my builds, and you could get strong handles on gold if you put your dribbling up to a 67, which with lightning launch you can basically just bully your defender out of the way as you drive to the paint to do a dunk or a layup. But that's if you have cap breakers. If not, to do whatever you please. And this build's takeovers it gets is above the rim, board beast, which is a great one. I personally use above the rim, but that's just me. You get a racer, which is another great one for blocking, which I like to play a lot of like glass cleaning well, so that's fine with me. You can get a horse, you can get a glass cleaner, glass warrior, glass gunner, mid-range maestro, which is probably something I was thinking about getting. I was thinking more about using slice, so then you get that upgraded speed, you upgraded agility, and then you also get that driving dunk up, but that's just me. Or you can get the SWAT sermon, which isn't a bad one because then you have because then your block goes up from a 91 to a 99. Your three-pointer goes up to an 87, which if you put it up to an 83, you'll get a 91 three-pointer. It's just a lot of great things you can go with this build. But the shades are Lamar Odom, Jaden McDaniels. So I personally think this builds very well. This is the way I would run this build. And then I do have a great jump shot for this build, which I think is a good one. It is Michael Porter Jr., Kristaps Porzingis, Chris Bosh. Very quick. My release point, I always go push on jumpers like this. But animation blend 50-30 to Kristaps because Kristaps does have a higher release point, and Chris Bosh is a faster shooter. But I just went with this because then you get an A- release speed, A defensive immunity, a B+ timing stability. So you can time this jumper very, very consistently. And you also get an A+ release speed. And the reason, like I said, you got to get that 90 mid-range if you're not going to have a high 3-ball. Because the threshold you're going to have for getting a good jumper, like right here, this jumper is rated for an 89 mid-range. I have a 90, so I could get something a little bit better than this. But my 3-ball is only a 79. It's made for an 89 3. So you're going to be able to get good jump shots, be able to make your jumper where you can green consistently. This is the jumper I'm going to run on it. And then, yes, like I said, you get pro contacts. If you were thinking about using your, my apologies, using your just things on getting different, your cap breakers on getting a 93 driving dunk, you could honestly probably be able to get a lot more of these. Like, you'd be able to probably get, yeah, you'd be able to, I would just go for a 92 instead of a 93, because then you get elite contacts. Because you already get good contacts, you're not going to get small ball because you're 6'10", you're not going to get big man because you don't have a high standing dunk. But that's just my opinion on it, and you can do it as you want. And then the build is just good. I'm testing out different layup packages. The first one I saw was Ben Simmons, so I was like, I'll use Ben Simmons. But Zion is the best one this year. You get a 72 layup, so you do have enough to get that. Motion style. Everyone has different opinions on what motion style you want to use. I personally prefer Kobe Bryant, but you can't get that on this build because of your height. So another one I've heard is another great one to run. I've tested it out once on my Shaquille O'Neal build, which if you guys want to see that, put it in the comments. I'll happily show you that. Is not Kevin Durant. It is, oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. What is his name? I'm sorry. I've had a long day. Oh, yeah, Jackson Hayes. He runs fast. He has good defensive animations, so that's the one I would reuse. You don't get very many passing, so you can either run normal or just fundamental. Your choice. Then all your pull-up jumpers and everything are your preference. Personally, you can't get it on this build, but if you guys have a guard, I would highly recommend getting Tyrese Halliburton. Probably one of the best ones in the entire game would be my guess, but I'd probably run Kevin Durant just because I am a Kevin Durant height build. And then you go into, you can, remember, tweak this build as the way you see fit. You do get lightning launch, and then you can just take off to the paint. And you do have 6'10" height, and you have an 87 strength, so if you need to bang with the bigs, you can. Then you can still shoot it, make them, and bang. Yeah. It's just a great overall build. I highly would recommend it. You can shoot a mid-range, so look at this. I'm shooting a 79 3-ball, and I'm making it because I have such a high mid-range. I got a good jump shot. That's all you need this year. You don't really have to have a high-ass 3-ball because, in my opinion, your mid-range, as long as you have a high mid-range, you'll get a good enough jumper where it'll make up for it. And one nice thing is about this build, you can bang with the big, so you do get some standing dunk animations. But hopefully y'all enjoyed. I do highly recommend this build. This is the build I'm going to be rebirthing, I'm going to be working on. So if y'all want to see a little update video on how the build's working, how it looks. I do have 2 other builds, so if you guys are interested in seeing those, I have a 2-way catch and shoot ace. I can show y'all how I made it. It's basically a rebounding wing from 20. It's the best way I can describe it. And then I do have my Shaquille O'Neal 92 overall center. But that's just about it. I hope y'all enjoyed. Until the next one.